Recessionary times, of course, wouldn't be considered most opportune for crafts business, or any business for that matter. But one woman who set up her own business during the last recession has recently been rebranding it, you might say, to deal with the present downturn. Our business is called The Cat and the Moon. It's become something of an institution in Sligo, and it's a showcase for Irish craftspeople.
The Cat and the Moon is an institution in Sligo town. It's the place to go for beautiful locally crafted jewellery, a wide range of other Irish-made crafts and the latest art exhibition. It's the dream come true of a young art graduate. Martina Gillen, as she then was, wanted to make jewellery, open her own shop and an art gallery. A big ambition at the height of a recession, but she did it.
It's like a lifetime ago. When you remember back 20 years ago, it's like I was a different person. I was just out of art college and full of all that optimism that you have. And really, it has been all up since then, because that was the real difficult times. I mean, those of you who started businesses at the same time as me will understand that there was only one way to go, and that was up. There were difficult times, and we're facing some difficult times now. But I think as long as you keep that focus on the vision that started you, where you want to go, you'll get there. And don't listen to all this pessimism that we're surrounded by. If you really have something that you want to do and you believe in it and it's good quality, and you give that support to your customers, where you are there for them when they want to come back, if they want to add to the collection of jewellery they have, if you're there and you give them the service, you can't but succeed.
And to prove her point, Martina in this recession has launched a new collection of jewellery. It's inspired by seeds and stars. In fact, nature has always been an inspiration for her jewellery.
Well, I've always loved the little seed heads that you'd see in the winter time when everything has died back. You'd see the hogweed plant particularly when it goes to seed. They're like dried little skeletal structures, but they still stay really strong in the midst of all the elements. And that also became, when I started to work it into precious metal, it became very much about stars, because that's what they look like. But maybe we're all in the gutter and some of us are looking at the stars. So this is all very much about being optimistic and positive. I live near Lissadell, which is just such a beautiful part of the world. And you can't not be influenced by the environment you're living in. And even the rain, you know, like one of the last collections I did there last year was to do with leaves and little pearls, which were the raindrops. Because I was at home and in the garden, you're looking out in the garden and you can't but notice the little beads of water, the way they fall on leaves. And that just caught my attention. And oftentimes it's just that simple moment when you're looking around you see something that speaks to you, and you know it'll speak to other people.
One of the people to whom Martina's jewellery clearly spoke volumes was the famous country star Dolly Parton. Every year her theme park, Dollywood in Tennessee, hosts a Festival of Nations. Martina was invited to showcase her work there, and it was such a success that she's now a regular visitor and has even designed a collection for Tennessee inspired by the native dogwood tree.
Dogwood is a beautiful flowering tree that's really plentiful all over the state. And when I was there last spring, it was fully in bloom. It was beautiful white and yellow flowers, a little bit like apple or cherry tree. And there's a lot of folklore and stories attached to it of a spiritual nature. So I thought I'll make something that will immediately speak to somebody from this area. And so that's already selling in Dollywood, and they're really happy with it. I feel in many ways we've arrived now. The gallery is up and running now, about 6 years I think this year. The shop is well established in Sligo. We have a fairly well-known reputation under the brand name The Cat and the Moon. And I'm hoping that now, using my married name, Martina Hamilton, this new collection that I'm launching will get us recognition in other people's shops who wouldn't have known that there was a woman designer who was making jewellery in Ireland behind the name The Cat and the Moon. So I think that's something that we've probably succeeded finally in communicating by putting Martina Hamilton's name to the fore.
Martina now employs 15 people directly. as well as supporting many other craftspeople through the Cat and the Moon. But finally, after 20 years in business, Martina Gillen is rebranding her own range of jewellery as the Martina Hamilton Collection. You might call it a romantic business move.
I always found people would mix up my maiden name as Gillen and they would say Gillian, and so there was always kind of some confusion around that. So I decided, since my children are little Hamiltons now, I might as well take my husband's name. After 20 years of not taking my husband's name, I give in. Now that the children are Hamiltons now. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll exploit them anyway, can you? But I think it's a good name, and I'm hoping it'll be as lucky for me as the Cat and the Moon has been.